Welcome back to Daytime on Rogers TV. I'm Glenn Golson, and I'm hanging out with Liz and Carl from Lilac Lane Quilts. How are you today?
Great, how are you?
Good, thanks so much for coming on. We are surrounded. We are surrounded by quilts. I love it, I love it. And you know what, grab that right there. This is so beautiful, because we're going to put this up, but again, the process of what you do, there's, look at that, it's the banner. Boom, Lilac Quilts, Allison. Now, I know my mom, and I'm going to do a shout out to Mom. She loves your store.
And so do your daughters.
That's it, that's it. You could have put me through college, but no, we gave it to you. So I went into television. So the process of this, though, we can put it down for now.
Yep.
But the process of doing quilts, it's a huge undertaking, or it can be for...
It's not so bad.
Well, she says that. But, you know, I'm looking at these things, and first of all, they're massive.
Yeah, they can be.
Yeah.
But they can be little.
Yeah, really
they can be little,
ones?
yes.
For like
yes.
kittens and things?
Yeah. Smaller than kittens. Smaller. You can do little quilted storybooks.
Okay.
Yeah, so it can be as small as you want or as large as you want.
Okay. Now, we're talking about the term quilt. And for those who don't know, what is a quilt versus, say, a blanket?
All right. If we had a blanket, it would be one layer, like what our little kitty had.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
So a quilt would be something where we started with
these guys.
Some ordinary fabric. Quilters are always crazy. They cut it up. They make a piece.
They had a whole piece.
They had a whole piece. They loved it. They cut it up. They made this,
yeah.
and then they put this down. They put a piece of batting on top and a backing on it, and then stitch all 3 layers together.
Wow.
That's a quilt.
And that sounds like that's easy?
That's easy.
I'm sorry. That sounds complicated to me.
It's easy.
It's easy. It's easy. But people, I mean, it's a passion.
It is.
People do this and love doing it over and over. I know, like, again, at my house and Mom's house, they get quilts everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere. And every holiday, you know, we get a new one. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like we can build the house out of quilts.
Out of quilts.
Yeah. Now, Carl,
it's a habit.
Yeah, it's a habit. And it's a
tradition.
Tradition, right? And it becomes a family affair. It totally does, right? Yeah. You know, and that's the thing that, you know, because typically you think of women doing the quilting.
Unfortunately.
Typically. But Carl, you do your own quilting. You're a quilter, right? Is that the term that we say?
Yep.
Professional quilter?
Yep.
Competition?
Quilter.
Challenge quilter?
You're competitive.
Really?
Won a couple of awards.
Really? Now you got to tell me about that. Now, how does that work? It's not a race to quilt.
No.
You have a finished product.
Usually you get a challenge and they'll give you either a pattern or certain fabrics.
Okay.
And you have to add a few other fabrics using the supplied fabrics.
Okay.
And come up with a design.
Oh, okay. And be creative, and
Yep.
I'm assuming you're based on it's based on creativity.
Yeah, and usually challenges are usually a certain size quilt, like maybe 40 by 40.
Wow.
And they'll give you 3 fabrics, and you have to use up to 2 or 3 of your others.
40 what?
40 inches, sorry.
We talk in inches.
Yeah, inches?
Yeah,
We're
we're
selling meters, but we talk in inches.
That, again, not confusing at all.
No.
I don't see why that's bad. But Carl, you know, you getting involved with it, is that something that you personally wanted to do, or, you know, was it encouraged, or both?
Well, she was talking to starting a business, and she told me how much the machine was she wanted to buy.
Okay.
I thought, well, okay, I've never bought a car that costs that much.
Can you drive this machine?
No.
And what machine are we talking about?
It's a long arm quilting machine.
Okay.
It's a 12-foot table. It's a large industrial machine. It's all hand guided.
Wow.
So I asked her, well, okay, fine. Who's going to fix it and maintain it? She said, well, you will. I said, okay, well, in that case, I better learn how to use it.
Yeah, I was going to say take a course or something, to read a book about it.
Well, we both took courses on how to fix it and maintain it and use it.
Really? How big is the machine? Like, when you say this, it sounds like it's
12 feet long.
12 feet long.
Yep.
Yes. And then it's a 24-inch reach
24
across
inch,
it.
yeah.
That's what gives it the long arm, that space in between that we can quilt with.
And you started this in your home.
Yes.
We
How
did.
big is your home?
It's a century home, so the bedrooms are small.
Oh, okay.
So the machine took up one whole bedroom.
Okay.
And it went from the window
down the hall,
around the corner.
Okay.
And then the other bedroom, another spare bedroom, was our fabric room when we first started.
When the machine came in the house, we had to decide outside in the driveway which way did you want it facing. Because once it came through the side door, through the living room, up the hallway, and down the stairs, there's nowhere else in the house to turn it.
That is it.
But we got it in the right the first time.
Okay, where's your poker room? Where's your man cave? You have a pool table? Where's that?
I'm not supposed to know.
Yeah. The pool table, actually, you put the quilts over.
That's right.
And
You do have quilters in your family.
Oh, yes. But, you know, know, and I was joking about it, but in all honesty, it is a passion for people, as I was saying before. But, you know, again, Mom is heavily involved, but Dad was definitely heavily involved in, you know, building the actual frames for it and cutting the patterns for it.
Yeah, a lot of husbands will cut the fabrics or the patterns out for them.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of husbands do the traveling, too. They're the drivers that get you to the store that you need for that one fabric that you just have to have before you die.
Of course. And it becomes that. Like, you actually go at Lilac Lanes, you obviously offer, you know, an array of different product, but, you know, finding that. Yeah, look at her. She's getting exciting talking about it. But let's talk about, like, from scratch. When you go, okay, I want to start to quilt something.
Okay.
What do you start with? Because there are stages, and each stage is exciting.
It is. It absolutely is. First, you're going to find the pattern that you want to do.
Okay.
So this quilt here is a log cabin.
This big one.
That's a very traditional pattern.
Log cabin.
That's a log cabin.
Okay.
So we have a center. So you're going to have to figure out what you want in the center of your log cabin, and that's significant.
There is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you? Yes. Thank you, Carl.
Something.
Yeah,
So if you had red in there in your log cabin, that would signify the fire in the hearth of your cabin, and then you build the logs out from it. That's how it got its
On a
name.
traditional log cabin, it's usually a red color.
If it was yellow in the center, it's the candlelight in the window to guide you home to your cabin.
Wow.
And there's another tradition where if it's a black center, it is signifying to the slaves as they were trying to free themselves from the States that it was a safe house to go to. So those are some of the things that go on in quilting.
I mean, they tell stories almost.
They do. They really do. And every quilt does have a story.
Yeah.
This quilt here.
Yeah, let's take a look.
All right, so we convinced
we got so many here today.
We convinced Carl to buy a machine.
Okay.
And the business grew, so we had to convince him to buy another machine.
Yes.
They're rather expensive, so I bought my husband a gammal.
This one here. Okay.
Yes, and he made me this sign. That's what I got for my gammal, okay, boys and girls?
So, Carl, you did this one.
I
He
did that
did
one.
this one. And the stitching on it is just absolutely tremendous. This is all done with him bending over the machine and figuring out in his brain what he wants to transfer to here and making his hands do it.
It's all free hand. It's all free hand motion. Yep.
Now I can see the detail on that, and it's extreme. Like, okay, yes, you have this. You know, you have the
Nice
the
little
big leaves, but the detail on this, you did this like
all by hand. Yep. All by eye, and none of it crosses.
I'm proud of him.
Wow. You didn't have a lot of coffees before you did this. I'd be like all over the place. And yeah, you never cross it.
Nope. Took a few days, but
a few days. It took me 20 years to do this. Okay, well, we're gonna talk about the detail. We got a bunch more things, and you're gonna show me how
to cut.
How to cut.
Yep.
Whew. Safety first, Carl.
Yep.
Stay with us on Daytime. We'll be right back.